Good day to everyone. This is Heta Bhattrupani, Chartered Accountant from ICI, working as an auditor with Nadeem and Umendra Chartered Accountants. Wishing you all a very happy new year. So since we have entered 2021, now it's time to close down the books of 2020 and welcome the audit season with open hands. So let's dig deep into preparation of audits. Audit is critical examination of financial statements by professionals in order to express its opinion on whether the affairs of the company represents true and fair view or not. A company either registered with DNCC or any other free zones are required to submit their financial statement after the closure of their financial year-end. The period of year-end might be mentioned in their memorandum of associations. Due date to submit these financials to the authorities are within 6 months after the closure of financial statements. So here we are submitting the we are preparing the financial statements from the compliance perspective. Is that the only requirement? Only because of compliance we are doing it. Now we had word regarding free zones. Even mainland companies, it's beneficial for mainland companies to prepare their financial statements. Okay, few specific industries like hotel industries, tours and travels have a separate set of guidelines in it, so that they have to follow as per their regulations. But apart from the compliance perspective, they are also required to prepare financial statement in order to avail bank facilities from bank. The most important thing, I guess, for any industry would always focus for their business, and after a specific time of business, they focus on their expansion. For expansion, the most important criteria is bank facilities, and to avail any bank facilities, almost every bank will definitely require 3 years of financial statement of previous years. So in that case, financial statements are very much important for bank to calculate your limit, to calculate your future projections of the company and provide you a better bank facilities. If we don't have these mandatory requirements, voluntarily we also prepare our audit report just to know how we transacted in the previous year, where we stand, what is the profits, what are the losses, what are the gross profits, where we did some calculations which were wrong and gave us the losses, to know what assets do we hold, to know what is the liability of us, like how much we have to pay, when we have to pay, what is the amount which we are going to receive, and at what time we are going to receive. We can analyze different ratios and also calculate and budget our variances, and we can also come to know that where we went wrong in the previous year, where our targets were not achieved this year, in case if they are not achieved. If they are achieved, we can congratulate ourselves and work more ahead in order to grow our businesses. So basically, what is financial statement? What does it represent? It basically represents a complete picture of all the transactions which we took in the previous year, which we included in our business activities in that 365 days. The importance and advantage of preparing an audit report are clear now, and the importance of having this audit report and financial statement as a part of our documents are also clear. Generally, this financial statement and audit report are prepared for one financial year, which is as per the period stated in Memorandum of Associations. But in certain exceptional circumstances, we can minimum prepare a financial statement for 6 months, and maximum we can prepare the financial statements for 18 months. So let's discuss on what are the prerequisites of preparing or examining the financial statements and audit report. So first and foremost, the company has to find an independent and professional auditor who will come down to the premises of the company and examine the report which is prepared by the management. to check whether these reports are in line with IFRS and generally accepted accounting principles. So how they will check this? Auditor will definitely give their opinion based on the documents and queries and information which auditor gets from the company itself. So how and what will the company give to the auditor? So there is an elaborative list of documents which is required to be given to the auditor in order to examine the financial statements and check whether the financial statements give their true and fair view or not. Let's break down this elaborative list into two different categories. These are, one are external documents, one are internal documents. Now what are external documents? External documents are those which are required to be obtained from third party or some externals. So what are these? Balance confirmation from creditors, balance confirmation from receivables, balance confirmations from bank. In case any bank facility is availed by the company, again we need a balance confirmation from bank stating that the outstanding interest and principal amount of these facilities. So there are various documents which are also required to obtain from external parties, such as valuation report in case there is any investment in properties. Now let's move on to internal documents. What are these internal documents? These are the simple documents which are already retained by the company. During the formation of company, there are certain documents, legal documents basically, such as trade license, memorandum of association, share certificates, incorporation certificate, tenancy contract, flexi-desk contract, passport, visa, Emirates ID of shareholders, some internal resolutions passed in the company. These are the documents which are required for the disclosure purpose in the financial statements, as various facts need to be evaluated as well. So there are so many documents which are required to be verified by an auditor, right? So all these documents which are provided to the auditor should be accepted by the both the parties, say purchaser and seller, buyer and seller both. In case of any expenses or something, these expenses are properly authorized and are adequate for the business, and everything should be verified and accepted from the company and its management, and these all points are to be taken care and verified by an auditor. So once this financial statement is prepared by the management and examined by the auditor, so now what to do with financial statements? We have to submit this financial statements to the authority within the time frame given before the respective due dates. But what if we don't submit these financials on their respective due dates? Now in case of DMCC, they have been strict with their companies, and at the first default, they'll just sanction the portal, which will debar the company from issuing or reissuing the trade license, issuing any new visas, or doing any other legal activity with regards to the company. What if this default is continuous for more than one period? Then in that case, DMCC will impose penalty of 5,000 AED in lines with this continuous defaults. So it's advisable not to be get trapped in this repercussions of not submitting the financial statements, and it's always advisable to submit the reports well in advance in time in order to avoid any other penalties or any other expenses which are not required for the company. In case of any query or any other information required, mentioned below is my contact details. I would conclude this video by saying that it's better to be safe than sorry, and let's welcome and prepare for this audit season well in advance, so that we don't have any financial repercussions on the company, and we are submitting all our documents well in time to the authorities. So if this video is helpful and informative to you, Please do like our channel, subscribe it, and comment as much as you can. We are always here to help you.